Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating in cancer research. It's a strategy that targets a weakness hidden in plain sight, a core property of tumors that, for a long time, we kind of overlooked.
So let's just jump right in. What if we could take one of cancer's most powerful survival tools and turn it against itself? We're going to explore how scientists are learning to flip the script, turning a weapon the tumor uses to thrive into its own Achilles heel. All right, first things first, we need to understand the problem. And the problem is this toxic, acidic environment that cancer literally builds all around itself.
Okay, so at the heart of all this is something called the tumor microenvironment, or TME for short. See, cancer cells are incredibly greedy. They have this hyperactive metabolism, it's called the Warburg effect, where they just burn through tons and tons of sugar. And the byproduct of all that frantic energy? A huge amount of acidic waste, mostly lactic acid, which it just pumps out, completely changing the chemistry of its neighborhood.
And that's the perfect way to picture it, really. This isn't just random waste. The tumor is terraforming. It's creating this acidic shield, this toxic soil, where our normal, healthy cells just can't survive. But the cancer cells, they've adapted. They absolutely love it. Okay, so how exactly does this acidic shield help cancer grow and spread? Well, it turns out this fortress does way more than just sit there and protect the tumor. It goes on the attack. You see, this acidic soup is an active partner in crime. It helps the tumor literally dissolve surrounding tissue so it can invade and spread. It acts like an invisibility cloak, blinding our immune system's killer T cells that are supposed to be the good guys. And maybe the most devastating part, it makes our best treatments weaker. A lot of chemotherapy drugs just can't work properly in this acidic bath, and it even puts the brakes on powerful modern immunotherapies. So if the acid is the problem, what if we could just get rid of it, neutralize it? Well, that's the beautifully simple idea behind this whole new therapeutic strategy. And that strategy is called alkalinization therapy. The goal is to raise the pH level, basically neutralizing that acidic shield to strip away all of cancer's advantages. But, and this is really important, it's not about trying to change your entire body's pH. The approach is much, much smarter than that. And this is where the real genius of the approach comes in. Our blood pH is rock solid stable. Our bodies have these powerful systems to keep it in a super tight range. So this therapy doesn't even try to mess with that. Instead, it targets the liquid right around the tumor cells. The whole goal is to raise the pH locally, right in the cancer's backyard, to dismantle its defenses without messing with the body's overall balance. So this all sounds amazing on paper, right? But does it actually work in real people, in patients? You bet it does. A recent clinical study looking at one of the deadliest cancers out there delivered some absolutely mind-blowing results. So what they did was look at patients with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, a disease that, as you probably know, has a really tough prognosis. These patients all got their normal, standard treatment, but they also got alkalinization therapy. And then, the researchers grouped them based on how well that therapy worked to neutralize their body's acid load. And the results? Honestly, they were just incredible. If you look at this chart, the patients who achieved a medium level of alkalinization lived twice as long as the low group. That's huge. But then, get this. The group that achieved high alkalinization, their survival time was nearly 4 times longer. 4 times.
I mean, that is a potential game changer, right? It's suggesting that just by changing the environment the tumor is growing in, changing the soil, so to speak, we could dramatically improve outcomes for one of the absolute toughest cancers we face.
All right, so this all leads to a really practical question. If this can be so effective, how do doctors actually do it? How do they monitor it and manage it? Well, the key is actually remarkably simple and totally non-invasive. You track urine pH. It basically gives us a good window into what's happening with the body's overall acid load. The goal is to get that urine pH into the sweet spot, this target range of 7.5 to 8.0, which tells us the therapy is working as intended. And how do you get there? Well, the management involves some pretty straightforward lifestyle approaches. Drinking plenty of water, getting regular exercise, and, this is a big one, eating a diet loaded with fruits and vegetables. Plant-based foods tend to have an alkaline effect, which helps. Now, for some patients, this is also combined with bicarbonate supplements, but that's always done under strict medical supervision. Oh, and a quick but really important note from the research. You hear a lot about alkaline water, right? Well, The studies show there's very little evidence that just drinking that stuff is enough to make a real difference here. The focus is on the bigger picture, the overall dietary and lifestyle patterns.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. This research opens up a whole new way of thinking about cancer treatment. For so long, we focused on fighting the tumor directly. But this suggests that changing the battlefield, the environment where the cancer has to live and fight, could be just as powerful. It's a strategy that could make all our other weapons more effective, weakening the enemy from the outside in. And that is a shift in thinking that holds some incredible promise.